Cleaning up some brush and prickers and stuff like that. And I have some tools to help me with it. I have this nice plastic wheelbarrow, and the reason I like this is because it's very lightweight. This Black & Decker electric brush trimmer. I also have some poison ivy spray because there's poison ivy everywhere over here. Hedge clippers. And these are some more clippers for some tall grass, things like that. And then I also have for anything thicker that the other tools won't get. As stated in my prior video, my dump here is open on Saturdays, and they let us dump brush for free, and they turn it into mulch. Okay, right here, I want to show you these thick briars. Ugh. Those briars will poke right through my gloves that I have. As you can see what I'm working with here, the stalks go down here, they're curvy, and then I have more coming up, and then they go around. They're also intertwined with some pokeweed. These particular prickers are from the wine berries. The pokeweed, my understanding, see if I have any in bloom up here. The pokeweed was once used, I believe, for face paint and maybe a tea. I'm not sure. It's not something I've ever tried to ingest, but I believe that's what it was originally used for by early settlers in this area. So I'm going to start at the root of this. I have my gloves on, and I have this trimmer to start. I'm going to go down here at the base of this briar patch. So can you see where I'm headed in there? And it's pretty easy to cut through. The prickers are going to penetrate these gloves. I'm going to go ahead and pull them up with the actual tool I'm using. See how easy that was? And then that's going to go into my dump pile. While you're doing this, try not to get your arm entangled in the other briars, because I just did that. That's why I'm trying to wear long sleeves out here. But the briars are very sharp. Look at how long that train is on this. It goes way back there. Look at that. These things have long trains on them. Now, the interesting thing to note about these plants is they do not grow up and choke out the trees like some plants do. For example, bittersweet vine, wild grape, and other plants, they'll grow right up a tree and wrap around the tree really tight and choke out the tree. This is a wild rose. Look at the thorns on that. Same thing here. You want to get to the bottom where the root is coming out of. You just want to trim. And the story is that when my grandfather was younger, he had horses here, and all the horses came and ate all of the wild roses, and my grandmother was really sad about it. With the wild roses, you can kind of see the thorns. Unlike the wineberries, with those sharp thorns covering like fur, these are thorns just like a rose would have, you know, every so often. You can see where the prickers are. So that's good and stuck in there. So I'm just gonna make my way through these prickly rose vines. Ow. Yeah, like that. See? I just got one in the finger. Through the glove. Can you see that? These are thick. There's one I might be able to just pull out. These vines are really tough though. Really tough vines. It's funny because I feel like I'm not making much progress, but I know I am. These pulled down. Look at that one. That was huge. A long train on it. I would have done it sooner, but I had the little baby woodchucks and bunnies living under the briar patch, and that's why I let it go. Some of these are really hard. You got to put some weight into it. Somehow I managed to get a pricker inside my shoe. And I have these two rakes. I have like a pitchfork and I have a metal rake. I prefer to use this style rake because it's good heavy metal versus a plastic lawn rake for leaves. I just feel that this does a way better job. Any type of brush like this that you're working in, it's gonna have some pullback. So when you go to rake it up, it's gonna resist you. That section's nearly cleaned up, so I'm gonna start on this section again, the one we started on. As you can see, it's really thick. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my brush trimmer, because I don't have all day to be clipping these by hand. So I'm going to take my brush trimmer and just start. This Black & Decker runs on batteries. But I'm going to start. It's going to get loud. Okay, so once the battery is good and in, these side pieces here, the black levers, and then here's the trigger right there. So I'm going to take the black lever, hold it down with my thumb, and then I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to get in here at the root. It cuts through it like butter. Look how it cut through that with ease. Some of these I've had to cut up high because as I'm cutting them, I don't want the prickers to fall on my head or back. So I'm making sure I'm out of the way before I'm cutting anything that could fall down on me. The pet for my kids when they were little. And I bought some nice grasses. I didn't know pigs liked to eat these. So after a while, they exploded all over my yard. Look at the ease of how that went right through. Always practice safety around yard tools, no matter what tool you're using.